theme was inspired by experts that estimate by 2050, approximately 70% of the world's population will live in metropolitan areas. It is important for these cities to have an effective planning, diversification, investment, and infrastructure.
If we look at knowledge transfer, around about 1900 again, we were doubling human knowledge every 100 years. Today, we're doubling our knowledge every 13 months. That's going to come down the next few years to every 12 hours.
Why not try and go to somewhere that's better? The idea here is one about bouncing forward or getting yourself into a position where you can actually thrive.
What we're seeing is a lot of crossbreeding, I guess maybe is the way to put it, in sharing of technological advances across the various segments that we work in.
The same type of innovations we all experience in our smartphones and in sort of online, try to bring that into the built environment.
You think of urban investment and urban technology as one circle, and then you've got civic technology, they overlap. At the end of the day, urban investment obviously is happening in cities. It's not suburban, it's not exurban, it's not rural. But civic investment, civic infrastructure, and civic technology, that's focusing on how we can use our resources for the benefit of the many, not the few.
Projects that work for us are ones where there's a good partnership between the private sector and the public sector, both in terms of how they communicate their priorities, both through legislation and also through capital, sort of putting their money where their mouth is as well. And that's what makes a deal work.
A macro employer, we're sort of flipping that on its head. That says, how do we build a platform for people to show up? And I think this is the key thing. Rather than work on somebody else's product, you work on your own or your own service. And by virtue of doing that, you're probably, I can make up a percentage, but I won't, X more likely to do it from the standpoint of mission.
The question that we get from clients in terms of whether employees are working virtually or in the office is really one about risk management, right? So the risks are different depending on whether people are physically in the office interacting with one another.
We've set up programs, something called a retrofit accelerator, where we bring together the technical know-how, the incentives, the financing, to help building owners through that process of making those investments. Because even if you want to do the right thing, it's not easy to do. So we've brought to bear some resources to do that. We want to lead by example, and then we want to make sure that we're setting up the right incentive structures out in the private market to move forward.